What is the difference between blogging and vlogging, and which one is the right one for you? Hi, this is Michael with Viral Home-Based Pursuit, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the difference is between having a blog versus a vlog, and I'm going to be going in depth showing you on screen what to expect, the pros and the cons, the alternatives to that, how to get started, and the whole shebang. But before I get started, if this is the first time you're watching me, I do come out with videos like this on how to blog, how to start a vlog, how to monetize and either one of them, and how to do it specifically through a certain business model that I use, which is called affiliate marketing. And this essentially is one way to do it, where you're basically promoting other people's products and services without having to ever own your own. Eventually you can, but you don't have to have any experience. You can start with somebody else's proven products and make loads of commissions doing it. That way you can make passive income, recurring income, higher ticket sales that are worth like thousands of dollars worth. So that way you can live life on your terms and have more freedom and really live that laptop lifestyle that is possible, but it just takes steps, and you've come to the right place to be able to do that if that's what you're searching for. Okay, so make sure you hit the subscribe button, tap on the bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing that I come out with in the future. And you can also go watch and see what I have produced in the past. All right, so the difference is that with the blog, it's more of a written language, more of a written text, and it's the way you communicate that is different, because you're putting it kind of like, think about it like as a piece of paper. Have you ever, like, if you were in class at some point, or as a hobby, maybe you like to journal, or you like to just write and or type and put it all out on like paper. How does that feel like to you? Doesn't it feel like you're letting go of that stress, and you're feeling like you're putting all your thoughts into one place, and you just feel a lot better? And so that's what a blog allows you to do, is when you can put written words on a document or wherever that may be. That's what blogging is about, being able to communicate with people through content on screen where they're reading, right? And they're doing so much more, which I'm going to go into here in a bit. And with vlogging, it's kind of a mix of both, but with vlogging, you're more on camera, kind of like you're seeing me right now, and you're demonstrating, you're demoing, you're going through tutorials, training, whatever that may be, step-by-steps, and you're documenting that process. And most people, they just tell you like vlogging is just creating content, which is part of that equation, but another more like micro part of it when you begin is to create this journey with your vlog. And that's what people want to see, is like when you're growing, it's like they get to see where you are now, but they also want to know where you've come from. And so with the vlog, that allows you to see it visually in a more visual aspect on video. And then also combine some text, like, we have subtitles, or you can add more other text in between with the video editing part of it all. But that's the main differences between the two, that with blogging, you have this whole text version based. You can read kind of like you're reading a book, or you're putting your thoughts out on paper. And then with the blog, it's kind of a mix of both, but you're more on camera, or you could be showing something on camera without your face, or both. And it goes in many ways. Now, let me get into the share screen here so I can show you more. Okay. So I made a post here, kind of says the same thing. A blog is a place where people use the written word and their written skills to create articles on the specific topics and niches. So imagine just like you have a specific hobby, passion, or an interest, and you can create content around that and put it into a blog. Okay, which, by the way, if you want to know how you can do that, I have a free blogging course you can pick up down below. It'll show you how to build a highly profitable blog. I'll kind of quickly show you that one, but it's right here. It's like 7 boring steps to building 1,000 plus per month blog in as little as 90 days. And that's keeping it in perspective. Even if you're a beginner, have no technical experience, or you never made $1 online, and I have a video there, and you can get it for free. More about what you're going to learn, but it'll look something more or less like that. And it's a great place to begin if it's something, if you don't want to be somebody on camera, which I'll cover in a bit here. I'm going to go ahead and cover that. And did you know, just a quick fact, did you know that over 80% of people who start a blog fail within something around first 3 months? And it does become really bad. And here are the main problems that I've been seeing. They just try to wing it, right? They have no proven formula and they have no complete mentorship. It's usually all those three, not one, just by itself. Because if you don't have the mentorship, then you may not have the proven formula and you're just going to wing it. It always comes down to that formula when you want to be able to succeed in either a blog or a vlog. You want to have a formula, a strategy, and a tactic, which I'll go through even more so. But when you have those three, you can really flourish. But without them, you're going to be making mistakes. And you're going to want to quit. So you want to listen up because I have the information here that you're looking for. It's going to save you a lot of time and headaches, avoid all that effort that you need to make by just doing it on your own, right? And completely going from scratch, eventually thinking that this wouldn't work for you. So why blog and or vlog, okay? Because eventually this can mesh into the two. If you go from blog, you can go into a vlog or vice versa, right? Listen, other than earning a high amount of income, which is kind of something I briefly told you about in the beginning with the affiliate marketing side, but there's other ways too. Whether you're trying to get into this with e-commerce, dropshipping, Amazon FBA, network marketing, MLMs, digital agency, it's endless, okay? And I started just very quickly with a blog in the beginning, monetizing a health and wellness blog in the lower back pain space. I learned how to do that and rank my blog posts on the first page of Google, which means I was able to get a lot of massive people coming to my blog post and reading that specific one. And then that then turned into them clicking a specific affiliate link you'll get with like a retailer, for example, Amazon. You can put into the post, they click that, and then they go make a purchase, and then you make that commission. And there's so many of these affiliates, retailers, vendors, but that's for another time. I have videos on that down below if you want to learn more about affiliate marketing. Okay, which is my primary income stream, which is what it's allowed me to do this full time and being able to do this from home. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you check it out down below. And I have the free blog course if you'd like to see that. But that's where I started. I wanted to get away from that, 9-to-5 thing and get away from traditional mainstream. And I thought about that after watching YouTube videos and going through blogging posts. And I was going on through Google and Bing and other places. Eventually followed some people, put up a site, a free one. It failed. It didn't work for me. I kept doing it for a couple months, thinking people would come to the post and buy. And even if something like that did happen, it wouldn't ever turn into a conversion. And I didn't have the right organized structure to put a post together where I could put all my thoughts in the one place organized. And so I kept looking again and again the next day. And this was when I was working at my 9-to-5 job. I literally got home that next day, opened the door, and then I threw the backpack in the kitchen where my laptop was sitting. I grabbed the laptop and I sat on the table and I went back into research mode and I looked to see if something would finally turn out and work out for me. And that's when I found out about a specific program that had all the training and the resources to back it up and to make it not just A and Z, but from A to Z. And so once I got into that community and that mentorship, it really allowed me to skyrocket my earnings and my growth in my skill sets, not only in just blogging, copywriting, and so many other things. And my plan then there was now to go ahead and continue to build and monetize on this. And I did have pitfalls, but I continued to rise and go through it all and the pains of seeing what would work and what wouldn't, because it's much as a test. Okay, so that's where I began, and then that's where I kind of went and ventured into and started growing more. So blogging and vlogging are very therapeutic if you didn't know that already. Have you ever felt like that clutter that's in your mind? How about the stress and the overwhelmed feeling? Are you feeling stuck in your own mind? It's something that you can be feeling like when you're caged at home, especially in times like this with the COVID-19. You might be watching this at a point where it's not even the thing anymore, but in unprecedented times, you are trying to seek something out and trying to get those thoughts down on paper. And a good way to do this is with a blog. And you can even do it with a vlog if you want to share yourself and share your experiences, share your passion, your interest, or your hobby. That's very possible for it. But it's a very therapeutic thing. And I've realized that over the years, it's, somebody who didn't think about going into this world, into the internet world, when you really put it into focus and you build the habit, then it becomes more aware and it becomes a thing that really helps you out. It's kind of like when you focus on blogging or vlogging, you get to put your thoughts down in written language or in the spoken word, and you get this unhuman tingling feeling in your mind and body that screams back out at you, just give me more. You can see that little, that horse. But you reward your mind with you reward your mind with the release of this dopamine and endorphins, unlike any other experience. And I'm being like very serious about that. I think that you could do it with both, but I love to do the like blogging side of things because no matter, even if I can come on the camera now, I'm an introvert too, but ambivert, extrovert and ambivert. But forming my thoughts together and putting them down on paper, it's just a very therapeutic feeling to have. And there's nothing else out there like that. It's kind of like the second wave of meditation. You can focus, clarity, meaning, you get more fulfillment. And I'm sure you didn't know that, or maybe you did in a way. And take it for somebody like myself who's blogged and blogged for many years, that you can take on this form too. It's not very out of reach. If you're somebody who thinks, you don't have the writing capabilities or the blogging capabilities, you don't have to. You could be a complete beginner. You don't have to have these skills, right? I didn't have them when I first began. I remember, like I said, when I was trying to form the connection between following other people online and seeing if I can build a free blog, I was terrible at it in the beginning. I just didn't know how to structure my content together, but I was putting the words on paper. The main thing was just to put what I was thinking on paper. And it's not like writing an essay. You don't have to be grammatic, or you don't have to be talking to somebody like that. It's just more of a communication form where you're using more like copywriting. You're talking to people as if they are a person and talking to them, right? You might be speaking to one to many, but you're speaking to just like that one person, and there's no greater feeling than that. And it's when you plug that in with the right structure on your content, you can use a template to go off of that, and it builds your skills with more repetition. So you can see the wax on, wax off there, and Daniel's son and Mr. Miyagi. I think I like this movie, Karate Kid. I thought it was pretty cool. Seen all of them, and then the new Cobra Kai's come out, and so that's even added more, fuel to the flame. Blogging versus vlogging content. So I wanted to make this part for you. So for blogging, it's in a format you can use listicles, which is basically something like, here are the 10 plus best ways to do this. Here are the 5 plus best ways to cook a keto, make this keto recipe. Here are the 5 plus best ways to lower your back pain without having to cut back on calories. Here are the 5 plus ways to, here are the 10 plus ways to make a, here are the 10 plus best places to travel without having to invest a huge budget. Those are listicles. Facts work really well when you put them into a blog. So if you're gonna like externally hyperlink to or link to somebody else who's of a higher authority on a blog, that's very good, because when you state facts on your blog, it becomes more memorable, and it becomes one of these more memorable and irreplaceable pieces of content, unlike any other person has or your competition will have, because the facts state things that are true, right? When people have theories, they have misconceptions, or they have myths about something, then something like of a fact can clear that up for them, and that the fact that you help them out just makes a bigger difference. And you'll be able to build your authority much greater on that, and people will be able to link back to you, which means you can get more traffic, which means more sales eventually, and a stronger relationship. Statistics, quotes, cartoons, images, case studies, reviews, newsletters. For blogging, product reviews, you can still do product reviews with a blog. That's where I kind of put reviews down there. Step-by-steps as well, demos, live demos, tutorials, cooking, travel, how-tos, broadcast. So you can kind of do a little bit of everything on both. Just the difference between the blogging side, it's more visual, right? So if you have a product demo, or if you have more of a visualistic scenery around you, or you just want to show people the authenticity of who you really are and what you're about, then something like blogging is very helpful to do. And it's always good to mix the two, because in my time that I've learned from going from blogging to vlogging, it's like people want a mix of both. And if I can send people from blogging to vlogging content, or vice versa, then it's skyrockets everything else with conversions. So pros and cons, blogging pros, you can build a highly profitable blog that can potentially, and excuse me for that, make you thousands plus per month in passive and even recurring income, okay? And then you can put all your thoughts down on paper so you can feel more relieved of your anxiety, that stress, that overwhelming feeling, which means you'll be able to breathe much better. And it does help this way, and have a higher level of that awareness and productivity that just pushes you, and it makes you want to excel at this every single day. And that just brings out more happiness. And that's what I've felt over the years of doing this. Okay. Looks like I'd have to restart the WordPress because it gives me that exit out part. But you can be more like that behind the brand person. You know, if you don't want to be somebody who shows themselves on camera, so you can still get those rewards of building that strong reputation and authority, but without having to be on that camera or voice, which means you'll feel more comfortable producing that content for the years to come. And for that time, you're going to feel more comfortable, you know, in a sense, doing this because it's a skill that you want to learn, and it's something that you can still build a huge authority with. You can still build a personal brand, but it's more behind the brand feeling, which still works. And it's good if you're going to be behind the brand for building like Amazon niche websites. So like all these posts that are like best electrical scooters for 50-year-olds, best lower back pain gadgets, best, you know, you can build those type of niche websites, which if you want to learn how to do that, remember to check the course down below. And you can also check out my number one recommendation if you want to already get into that, where I give you all the help and the value that you need to be moving forward, as I have in my journey when I first got started. So you can place affiliate links inside of your posts. Remember, when somebody clicks on one of these, they can go and purchase from somebody like, let's say, Amazon. And then when they do, you get the commissions. There's many different affiliates vendors again, and I have a list for them you can get in this article. This will be linked down below in the description, so you can check more of it out. You can build more of this all around attractive blog, which will ensure your visitors come back for more. And that's a great thing about it. The cons, if you don't like to write or feel like it'll be your stronger point, then maybe it isn't for you at this point. I don't want to say it will never be, because you might develop that skill. You might want to outsource that to somebody later down the road. But it's something that I believe at the beginning you should start with. If you want to start with the vlogging and then you can move into blogging, you could. From blogging, usually what they do is move into making their own videos, which is a great way to go, because you can also put that video into your content. Okay. Takes time, like 6+ months, to build a proper authority within the search engine. So if you're like, you know, you're going into this with the monetization mindset, which you should, I believe, then just realize that you are not going to get like the visitors within the first post that you make. Once you publish it, don't expect to be checking your Google Analytics, because I did that like kind of in the beginning. Like after weeks, I kept checking how many visitors am I getting. Just continue to put your head down and put content on, because that's what's going to matter the most. And once you keep doing that, Google will look at you as an authority in months to come, 6 months more or less, it can be less, but they start taking you seriously, and they say, hey, this person here is an authority and an expert. You don't have to be a complete expert. You just have to be one chapter ahead of the people, right? So if you want to get into an interest, maybe not a specific passion, or it could be a hobby, then you can make that work. And then that can eventually become a passion, because that's how I started, with the interest of, let's say, helping people with back pain. And that became more of a passion over time as I did it, not just with the monetization, but being able to give people an impact, making it where I was real and being somebody who really did care about that end user in mind. And the amazing thing about with the blogging side is you get to use what is called keyword research. You get to see what people are typing into Google and other search engines, so you can create content specifically for that. It's pretty cool once you know how to do the research part of it all. So vlogging pros, you get to make people feel who you are, in this sense where it's like you're on camera, and they get to see and feel what you are presenting to them in a more visualistic manner, which means you can build a faster relationship and trust with people. So that you can do a little bit with the trust side of things with a blog, but with the YouTube side of things, or even with any other video platform, somebody who sees you, you will build that content, will build the trust for them. That will then builds that relationship, and then makes them want to trust you more over time as they go through your content. If they sign up for anything, they'll trust you over time, and then that can then lead into a sale down the road. But you can get on and they can view your content much sooner. So you will build a personal brand much faster in a sense, so you can get people to refer you to others, and they can keep coming back to you for more, not your competitors, which means you're going to have more raving fans for life. So think about building a personal brand. That's what is most important now with either platform. You can do that still with the blog, but I would mix it in with video eventually. The sooner the better, because personal brand is what's up and coming. And that's, if you know, by the time you're watching this, it's already been for some time, but that's what you need to be focused on, is a personal brand. And if you want to learn how to build more of this, you should be able to get my resources down below, where I give you like a free story script, and you can also pick up a free book on how to become an expert in your space. It's a free book. You just got to pay the shipping and handling, but it's like really no risk, and it's like the most popular book out there. And it's going to teach you how to market yourself, which is the most important part. You can build the content, but if you don't learn how to market it or learn how to put it out there in front of people, the right audience, your dream customers, what good is it, right? Faster ranking than Google is expected with YouTube stuff. If you're on YouTube, right, that's where I'm going to go in this, because you can get visitors and more views sooner rather than later, which means you have more people clicking on those links in the description to go purchase your product, opt into lead magnets and or more. So you don't have to wait around for like that Google sandbox to really like look at you, and you can get this going. You can get the momentum going, and then that shift just picks up. Loads of content creation template ideas, so you don't have to worry about getting bored or stuck about the next video you'll make, which means you'll make that content for years to come on things like myths, misconceptions, testimonials, demos, and so much more. So you can switch it up a lot. Kind of, you can do the same with the blog. You can incorporate it, but there's so many ideas you can come up with YouTube videos for, depending on what niche you're in, what content you're putting that value out for. And again, you want to pick a niche. You want to pick, like, let's say if you want to get into cooking, what kind of cooking? Well, cooking, the industry is health and wellness. The subcategory would be cooking, and then another subcategory that would be keto diet, and then yours could be like keto diet for, or it could just be keto diet, you know, keto diet for 50-year-olds and above, or something like that. But the more niche you go, the better you're going to find your audience in either blogging or vlogging. Cons, if you don't feel comfortable on camera, at least right now, then you probably will not prefer to go with that like YouTube or video type of content creation. At least to start. I think that over time, it's best to be omnipresent on all channels, and the better you learn at all these skills, it's gonna help you in the future, right? And I know so many people who want to outsource things, but it's always good to get those skills in place. Like I know now how to do blogging, the video. Even if I hadn't done video in a while, sometimes I do come up rusty, but it's because I'm focused on other things. And then there's the copywriting, the email marketing funnels, and so much more. It's all a bunch of fun stuff to learn. So the best blogging platform for you, number one, I'm going to say it's WordPress, and there's so many of them out there. I have articles on this, and I have a lot of videos on it that I'll try to link to down below in the description. But, you know, have you ever fantasized that idea of being able to be in Google on the first page as somebody searches? Just imagine somebody searching about a problem they have. They're searching in the search engine about how to relieve their lower back pain fast. Right? And as soon as they go ahead and click the submit button and they see all the search results, they look no further. Their eyes just look straight ahead. And on the very first spot, there is your listing, how to relieve lower back pain fast. Right? They see the headline, and then they see the description, and then they click it. They click it, and then they go to your post, and they read it thoroughly. They scan to it. And there's this method called the SCARF method, and I won't go into that, but it's a certain framework I like to use where I'm able to understand like what the person needs. You have to put the person's needs in mind when whatever content platform you're on. But now they're like reading it, and then they get the problems answered, and plus more. You give them so much more value that they eventually sign up to a newsletter to learn more about you, or they go and purchase the product, and you make commissions and you make that money depending on where it is. So that's the value of that. And you can do that for years to come, earning passive income doing this. So you get a lot of love from Google as opposed to many other platforms like Wix, Weebly, Webnode, Squarespace, and there's so many more. But over the years, I've learned that WordPress is a great place to begin. And if you want to learn more about that, I have that here in this article that, again, I'll link to down below in the description so you can check it out. So, when people get searching for, and I have an example here that I kind of went about dogs, you could be the one who shows up on that listing. Um, and this is where you earn those $50, $100. And this is something called affiliate marketing, as I stated in the beginning. And what happens is you basically are promoting other people's products and services without ever having to own your own product, or just don't have to start with one. And there are literally millions of companies like out there, like Amazon, Walmart, Target, ClickBank, ClickFunnels, and there's so many more. I have a list of affiliate programs that make you thousands plus online that you can go ahead and click here and check it out within this article again. And I show you how to do all this with a blog, and even a blog with YouTube or with just video. But that's a great thing to get into. And there's so many other ones out there, like Shopify and all those. But affiliate marketing has been proven, and it's been one of the best ones out there. So how do you get started with fast and ease and in the right directions? And so I said over the years, I've learned my fair shares, making mistake after mistake. And I did, like I said in the beginning, just trying to do this all alone and thinking that I could just copy and see what other people were doing. And that just didn't work. Go and post on social media with my links, right? So I started that health and wellness blog. And, I even went through all these other places like Squarespace, Wix. But one thing was common. I couldn't get people to find and read my blog post the way that I wanted to. And my content wasn't structured right. And then after those 2 months, I was done until the very next day I learned something new. And then you couldn't just start that one blog on a free platform and write the minimum amount of content, expect a huge return. And this goes the same for YouTube or any video you're putting together. You need that step-by-step process. And when I got into research mode again on Google, I came across a course called like Wealthy Affiliates. And that's where I began. And if you want to learn more about Wealthy Affiliates and how to use them as the premier training for your blogging efforts with affiliate marketing, I'll have a link to that down below. And that's where I began. And I'm still in there. It's a great community of people, so you can always get the help you need. You don't have to be feeling like you're alone in this. And you get premier trainings, 2 of them, and more with extra resources. So you always have the step-by-step that you need that you can go ahead and start implementing while you're learning it. So learning and applying it. So again, that'll be down below. With the YouTube side of things, that's where I would begin. You can also go with like Vimeo, and you have other platforms too. But it's the world's most searched video platform. So why not get into that? Here are a few main reasons why. YouTube has 2 billion logged in monthly users according to Hootsuite. 73% of adults in the US use YouTube. And that's not even factoring into, teens and stuff. But if your audience is there, they're most likely going to be on YouTube searching, right? So 2 billion, think about that. People are searching. Not exactly searching, but they're logged in. And when they go to search, they could be looking for your video, and you could be the one that searches, pops up, and you can be the one that helps them. You will have a much easier, fast, and fun time making these YouTube videos than in any other platform, because it's a search engine owned by Google, which means just like a blog, your video can pop up on the first page results like the ones I have here. Mine actually, I'm a practitioner. I don't just say things. You should know that I have your best heart at interest and what your needs are. And so I have been able to rank my videos on the first page of Google, because Google allows you to do that now. And as you can see, there's a picture of me on some of them. Pro tip, if you can combine YouTube videos or any video platform with a blog, you will see a spike in conversions, more leads, and then that equals more sales. Some people like to consume the blogging for the text part, but then they also will go in there and see a video and likely click on it. Which, by the way, I also show people how to go viral with their blog. I have like 19 plus ways or so to go viral with that. As well as how to promote and sell high ticket affiliate products for those thousands of dollars and up, or hundreds and up. I show you the ways of doing it and how I've been able to earn thousands of doing it, not just throwing content in there, but actually being somebody who practices what they preach. And those are just some steps here. Research your targeted keyword, organize your content structure, make the video, post the video, optimize the video. My #1 recommendation, you can also get content on YouTube if you would like to. I'll try to leave down below in the description. And you don't have to be somebody who needs a large camera, but I won't go into depth on that. You can just start with your phone and then eventually grow if you would like to, with quality, sound quality, visual qualities, etc. This is one of my earliest videos. You can see the camera, look kind of weird there, but here's another one where I didn't even have to use the laptop. It was just kind of connected on the, like I said, I used to be at the table, kitchen table, and I just put it on like literally like a salt shaker or a pepper shaker, and that was it. This is me how I've evolved over the time too, how to put it on with the laptop and so forth. And so it's just a pretty interesting growth to see. So will a blog or vlog cost you more? I would say a vlog in the long run will cost you more because eventually you'll want a clearer sound, lighting that fits the look of your video, better camera so you have clarity in it. And other tools like thumbnail optimizers, those courses, keyword premium tools, video enhancement programs like Adobe, etc. But it's more or less, it's all based on perspective. I see a lot of people who earn a living with just YouTube, and they don't have to use like a laptop, or they don't have to use anything like with lighting and all that. That's just dependent on your preference, and also it just depends on kind of the niche and what you're trying to do. With a blog, you will likely spend on a domain and hosting within an expensive course to start, so you can have the right mentorship to help you earn an income. If that's the way you're thinking about going, the domain is almost like on average $11.99, hosting about $40 to $100 plus per year. Keyword research tools, one or more, can be free and as much as $100 plus for the premium version, but it's always a good investment. Remember, you're investing, right? If you want to make more, you got to spend. People who pay attention. People who pay, play. And that's what this is. You can do free for so much, but it's always best to do that. And one of the cool things that if I've learned over the years about people trying to educate others on domain and hosting is like they have their courses. They just try to push them into that. I really take my time to educate you on the whole blogging aspect, the mindset of it all. In fact, I have this course called the One Blog Post Away Challenge. It's highly popular and it's helped out hundreds and thousands of people on how to build a highly profitable blog. And it's a challenge. It's a 30-day challenge that's going to challenge you to do everything from mindset to what is an offer, how to create a monetization strategy, how to structure your content properly, how to put lead magnets in place. All this stuff, in fact, comes before you even put your hosting and domain together. And you can get a free site in there as well, which is pretty amazing. Not a lot of people have that, and it's premium quality, and I think you're gonna like and have a lot of fun with it. I'll link to that down below in the description too, so you can check that one out. There's my number one recommended platform. Will vlogs replace blogs? Okay, so here's this thing, and you've probably been hearing about it, is, okay, video is the next best thing, and we're living in it right now. And everything is more video enhanced and video based. And, it's like, well, people want to connect with you better, right? So why not use video? And that's a good question, and that's a good positioning statement. I highly agree with that. Vlogs are important, but will I say that they will completely replace blogs? No. Blogs will always, hear that again, always is the keyword, have a place, okay? And for a long time, people kept saying, how they wouldn't, and, a lot of those were naysayers or people just trying to convince you to do it some other way. And the blogs will always have a place, especially if you want to learn the SEO side of things, and it's a great thing to learn. You don't have to be technically savvy at that, and there's a lot of content out there for you to learn from as well. People like you and I still prefer to read the written word and get our information by reading as opposed to watching a video. So think about that. Plus, there will be times when a person watches a video and then looks in the description of the video to click and go read the blog version for things like testimonials, proof, social income, etc., features and benefits, a more analytical purchasing decision, and way more than that. So this happens a lot. I track data. I'm a numbers guy myself. I can be creative and create content, but I like to know the numbers too. And I always see people who watch my videos who will likely click on the description and go read that blog post version of it or go take content from there. And so that's something that you can add on to it. And that's a good addition because people sometimes are on the go and they want to read, they want to see something, not just see the visual side of it. So how many times have you watched a video and clicked in the description and went over to read that post? You can make that claim that there is more competition now than ever with millions of blog posts that exist on the internet. But that's okay. This just means you have to focus on more quality over your work and less of quantity to a certain degree. And you just have to stand out, have that unique standing point or the unique selling proposition and unique value points out there that differentiate you from your competition, which you'll learn in time. And the final verdict and the winner is the best one for Yeah, you guessed it. You. My best advice is to take a deep look at yourself, even in the mirror, or just take a time away, go out, and reflect on it, and ask yourself, what kind of content do I prefer to do? Is it text-based or video-based? And let me put it for you this way. Would you prefer sitting behind a desk? See, this reminder moves out the way. Writing long articles on any topic you want because you're more confident in the writing aspect. And if you're thinking you have to write a lot, believe me, a lot is very little compared to, when you start learning those skills, you'll get better at it. Or because you don't want to put your face out there. Or do you prefer standing up or sitting down in front of a camera and delivering content through video with your face, voice, on-screen sharing, and more? See, listen, for people, it's more difficult to put themselves in front of a camera than it is to write the content through a keyboard. You've learned through school and through other ways that you can put things on paper. You can put things on by typing, by using a keyboard. And that makes it so much more easier because you're putting your thoughts down on paper that you wouldn't think anybody else would read, right? But when you're actually in the process of putting a video together, the words, it becomes more real, right? And not to say that a blog side of things it isn't, but when you're doing it in that motion and that law of motion, like Newton's law of motions that I won't go into too much, but you're transferring that energy through one system, your voice, and through another one, and it feels more real in that sense. But nonetheless, it's still something you can do. In the end, I recommend you try the two of them. Why? People love a mix of the two forms of the content, and each will have their own place, but also for helping you convert your readers and watchers into raving fans that will follow you until the very end. So you can build this brand, and that's what you want. And if you don't want to be doing any of that, then maybe my content isn't for you. You should probably stop, this far into it and stop reading. But that's what you want to do eventually. Keep coming back. They'll keep coming back to your content and smile because you went full out for them and really cared about how they consume the information and how you were able to solve their problems, how you were able to do that. Thus, this will turn your audience eventually into paying customers. That is what you want, isn't it? With your multiple traffic channel strategies, you'll be able to acquire more traffic, meaning more attention. And the more attention you get, the more you'll become an authority faster and people will buy from you and not your competitors. And if this is something that you want to do, you can also get into my free blogging course down below or my extra material on like YouTube stuff and the affiliate side of things as well. You can get into the one blog post away challenge, which is going to help you. It says free here. It's still free, but at a point that we'll be starting to get paid, I'd get in there. If it's free, still get in there. If it's not, go ahead and do it anyways because this will change your life. If you want to have more financial freedom, you really want to make more money. Save yourself more time of having to wake up every morning, putting on a pair of jeans, the shirt, eating, going to your vehicle, going through traffic. Once you get to work, you waste another 10 to 15 minutes because you had to talk to Sally and Bill, or because by the time you sit down, it's like you still have to do something else. And you're just tired of the busy work. That just doesn't keep you, it keeps you in that 9 to 5 mentality. But once you get into this world, once you see all this and you really understand it, it will change your life for the better, and financially, and so much more. Personal, professional, and physical, so much more. Okay. So if that's something you want to do, make sure you check the course down below, check my extra material. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns on anything that you've learned today, please leave me a comment. Let me know, what are you going towards? What do you want to see? What platform do you want to work with? Is it blogging or vlogging or both? And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so that way you can see my future work as well. All right. Thank you.